Sometimes, a relationship doesn't fall apart because of one huge lie. It falls apart quietly, one unanswered question at a time, one strange silence after another, and one small change that slowly becomes impossible to ignore. I never imagined that one day I would feel like a stranger in my own relationship. Emily had always been honest with me. At least, that's what I believed. She never hid her phone, never acted nervous, and never gave me a reason to question her. We weren't the perfect couple, but we trusted each other, and for a long time, that trust was enough. Then things began to change. At first, I blamed stress. She had been working long hours, and I told myself she was just exhausted. But the changes didn't disappear. They became habits. She started placing her phone face down on every table. Whenever she left the room, the phone went with her. If a message appeared while I was nearby, she would lock the screen before I could even glance in its direction. None of those things seemed important on their own. But when the same little moments happen every single day, they stop feeling like coincidences. I kept telling myself that trust means giving someone space. At the same time, I couldn't ignore what my own eyes were seeing. One evening, we were having dinner together. The television was on, but neither of us was really watching it. Emily kept checking her phone every few minutes, almost like she was waiting for someone. Then it vibrated. She looked at the screen, smiled for just a second, and immediately locked it. Trying to sound casual, I asked, "Good news?" Without even looking at me, she answered, "Nothing important." The words sounded normal. Her voice didn't shake.
She didn't panic.
But something about that answer felt rehearsed, almost like she had expected the question before I asked it. I didn't push. Instead, I stayed quiet. From that moment on, I stopped listening only to her words. I started paying attention to her actions. She no longer looked into my eyes during conversations. Simple questions suddenly received short, carefully chosen answers. Sometimes she would pause for a second before speaking, as if she was deciding which version of the truth sounded safest. A few days later, something else happened. We were driving to the grocery store when her phone started ringing. She glanced at the screen and immediately pressed the silent button. I laughed and said, "You should answer it. It might be important." She shook her head. "I'll call back later." It wasn't what she said that caught my attention. It was how quickly she wanted the call to disappear. That night, I couldn't sleep. I wasn't angry. I wasn't even certain anything was wrong. I just couldn't stop asking myself one question. When did everything start feeling different? The next morning, I made a decision. I wouldn't accuse her. I wouldn't argue. And I definitely wouldn't go searching through her phone. If there was a truth hiding between us, it would reveal itself eventually. Secrets rarely stay hidden forever. A week later, that moment finally arrived. We were eating breakfast together. Emily walked into the kitchen to make coffee, leaving her phone on the table beside me. A notification suddenly lit up the screen. I wasn't trying to read it. It simply appeared in front of me. There was no profile picture, just a name. And beneath it, one short message. "Last night was amazing." I didn't touch the phone. I didn't unlock it. I just stared at those 4 words. A few seconds later, Emily returned. She looked at the screen. Then she looked at me. For the first time in years, I saw fear in her eyes. Neither of us spoke. Neither of us needed to. Because sometimes the loudest truth isn't spoken at all. Sometimes it appears in a single notification and changes everything.